Okay, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tinesha Davis. Let's turn this sound down. Okay, this is fun and budget. Y'all gonna have to excuse my voice. It is a little hoarse. Maybe we'll explain why. Maybe we won't. I don't know, because I don't know what's in these notes for me to talk about, y'all. But basically, I want to catch y'all up. Y'all, this is day when y'all watch this. Today is day 37, but when you watch this, it will be day 38 of the government shutdown. This is an update. How am I doing? How am I doing? All right, listen. For those of you who don't know, and most of you do, but for those of you who don't know, before the government shut down, me and 70% of my team was given notice that our job was going to be coming to an end. We would be laid off October 17th, okay? What I never told y'all, that I'm going to say now because who cares, the 70% who were cut were all minorities. Every single minority on my team, except for one person. They kept 7 people. All of those people were Caucasian, except for one person. Everybody else, all minorities. Only 2 of us were black women. We only had 2 black women on the team, but we were all let go. Yeah. So that was quite interesting. When it was inquired as to why they were keeping who they were keeping, they claimed it was because the people they were keeping made less money than us. Made less money. When have you ever known a white man to make less money than a minority woman? But this is why I believe transparency is important. And this is why we try to keep it as transparent as we can over here on this channel. Because they will blow some smoke and you will have no choice but to take their word for it, right? But yeah, so then the government shutdown happened on top of that. So October 1st, the government shutdown started. So what this meant was before we can even make it to our last final 2 weeks on the contract, we had to stop working. So it just threw a monkey wrench in our plans for whatever we may have planned with that last bit of time that we had to earn a paycheck, okay? And so here we are now. 37 days into the government shutdown, 38 days into the government shutdown. How am I doing? I am doing well. I'm doing better than most. I am. And a lot of you know why. Because on this channel, we've always practiced good financial management, living below our means, living a debt-free lifestyle, having expenses in our life that we can manage with very little. All of those things have come together for a time like this. All of those things. So I'm able to exist without a whole lot of stress, okay? I haven't missed a paycheck yet, so I'm still getting paid. And the reason why, and I talked to you guys about this before, is I went into a 30-hour pay period, paychecks. So instead of getting paid out on 40 hours a week, I'm getting paid out on 30 hours a week. This allows me to further stretch what I have. And this is what I have. My company gives us 40 hours of training. So when the government first shut down, I was able to submit timesheets based off of 40-hour trainings, right? So I used 30 of those hours for 1 week. Then I had 10 remaining. I was able to use the next week. Then I was able to use PTO to offset that, right? Then my company did us another favor as they examined, like what could they do to further help us, the employees. So what they did is this. Normally, every single year, they give us $4,000 that we can use towards training. So, of course, that means that we would actually have to submit a training request, and it would have to come back approved, and then we're able to apply those things to legit training. All right? When we apply them to legit training, this means that we have to expense it. We have to actually submit our receipts and all of our things that went into this training. Normally, every single year, I go to the AWS conference in Las Vegas. This year, and it luckily for me, because like I said, this wasn't going to benefit everybody because some people would have used their training early in the year. But luckily for me, AWS training is usually the week after Thanksgiving, right? So because that didn't happen yet, I hadn't used those funds. What my company said was we did not have to use those funds for training, that if we wanted to, we could request to have those funds given to us in training hours versus training money. So I opted to do that. And what that did is it gave me another 46.22 hours in training. So that gave me 86.22 hours of training time that I was able to submit in my timesheets and get paid out on. So as of now, I've exhausted all of that, but luckily I still have some PTO available that I'm able to use. As of today, I have 150.44 PTO hours that I'm able to use. And again, I'm only using 30 hours a week, right? So it makes me a part-time employee, but it still keeps me with benefits, all right? So, and I also still accrue PTO time on a part-time basis. So right now I accrue 3.39 hours a week in PTO time. So with all of that being said, this gives me about another 5 to 6 weeks that I'm still going to be able to submit timesheets and get paid out on. I'm doing better than most. For those of us who work with my company and they don't have any more PTO to use, and if the government shutdown continues and it doesn't open back up, what will we do? Well, our company gave us another time category that we could submit time to, and it is what's it called? Unpaid furlough leave. So we can charge our time to that. So what that means is we will not get paid. But it will keep us with benefits. That is a beautiful thing, right? Because right now, the company I work for, they pay for 100% of our benefits, 100% of our health benefits, insurance benefits, all of those things. So it will keep us insured. It will keep us, make sure that our health, dental, vision is still covered in this time. I forgot to add this part also. Our company also sent us a notice also saying that unemployment is an option. It says some employees may qualify for partial unemployment through Maryland or Virginia, depending on your work location. So unemployment is based off of your work location, not where you live, right? So it says you must indicate that you are partially employed or work in reduced hours for your claim to be processed correctly. Any earnings from PTO or training hours or partial work will reduce your weekly unemployment payments. So in Maryland, you get up to $430 a week before taxes for a maximum of 26 weeks. And for Virginia, up to $380 a week before taxes for a maximum of 26 weeks. Now that part right there, why is Virginia trash? Like, Virginia has the lowest weekly unemployment payments as compared to Maryland and Washington, D.C. But yet Virginia also has the nerve to have the higher taxes. So go make that make sense, but I don't know. It says our company will respond directly to any request from the state. However, employees are responsible for submitting weekly updates to maintain eligibility. And they sent us the link to where we can file for unemployment benefits, which for me, it doesn't behoove me right now to try to apply for unemployment benefits because my paychecks are more than enough, and I think I would rather wait and save that option for when I truly am unemployed. Also, with me still being able to submit timesheets using my PTO and training, The beautiful thing for that is also the fact that my company also matches my 401k contributions and stuff. So I'm still able to submit my timesheets and they are still matching my contributions 10%. And I am still fortunate enough that I'm still able to contribute to my 401k accounts, my IRAs, and things like that. Why? Again, it's because of the work that I've been doing for years. And that was setting myself up so that I can either retire early and so that I would not have any debt and so that I didn't need a whole paycheck to live off of. I need a fraction of my paycheck to live. This is also another reason why I was able to say, you know what, let me just get paid out part-time 30 hours a week versus a full-time. I did not need a full-time paycheck. In hindsight, I love that I set myself up this way because it takes off so much stress in a time like this. Okay. So that's how I'm literally doing physically during this shutdown. 38 days, going out 40 days, right? Of the shutdown. But how am I doing with my mindset, with my mentality? This is very interesting, I think, because I wasn't thinking it was going to be this way. Again, I've been preparing for early retirement, right? But now that I've been home and I haven't been traveling, what I realize is this. I don't necessarily have a desire to just not work. I don't have a desire. I don't have that desire. You know how some people are like, oh, I can't wait. I wish I didn't have to go to a job. I wish I could quit my job. That was never my thing. Every now and then I would think, wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to go to work? Wouldn't it be nice? But honestly, while I'm here, while I'm home, what I realize I like having a job. I like going into an office. I like feeling that my money is being replenished. That whatever I spend, it don't matter because it's going to be replenished. The feeling of replenishment is a huge feeling because what I'm realizing, it feels like I'm replenishing it because, again, I set up a low lifestyle. So I don't have a lot of bills. I'm debt free. My mortgage is almost paid off. And so with that, it truly did feel like a gift every time I got paid. It felt like a gift that I was able to, because I was so blessed, I was able to be a blessing. Now that I feel like those days are numbered, I'm not going to have this replenishment feeling. What I found myself doing is, I don't know if the word is holding on tighter to my money, but it could be. It could be that. Because what I found is there would be things I would want to go to. Plays, like for instance, plays. I want to take G. This is our 17-year-old daughter, my partner's daughter. I wanted to take her to see a Broadway play, to go see Hell's Kitchen in New York. When I went to look up prices, because I usually like to have like really good seats, sit up front, all of that, those tickets were like about $300 plus, right? And then I was like, oh my goodness, $300. I'm not prepared. I don't want to pay that much money, $600, $700, $1,000 for a play. In the past, when I knew I was being gainfully employed, when I knew that my money would be replenished, I wouldn't even think twice of it. I was like, you know what? It's all about the experience for me. It's all about giving a great experience, being inspired, having no regrets. But now that I'm in this situation, I'm like, ooh, she ain't asked to go see this play. So first I was like, we ain't got to go see the play. Then I said, but you know what? Perhaps what we don't have to do is sit up close. We can sit up in the balcony. We can get lower price tickets and we could do it that way. The other thing I realized is this, y'all, my grandmother turned 92. We went down to visit her for her 92nd birthday. Normally, I would have a wad of cash, let's say $500 or more, and give it to her for her birthday. This time I was thinking, well, she's 92, she ain't got nowhere, she ain't got nothing to buy. Like, I talked myself out of it. I did not give what I would normally give. I gave a fraction of what I would normally give. Have an aunt, great aunt. She turned 99, guys. 99. Same thing. Normally, I would bless her with something. But this time it's like, we're going to bless her with our presence, which there's nothing wrong with it. But I realize I'm thinking this way all because I feel like money isn't going to be replenished. Now, I know this is something I have to work through, because I do know and I do understand that our blessings, financial and or otherwise, does not have to come through a job, does not have to come through a 9-to-5. But this is something that I'm gonna have to work on. But I didn't even realize I was gonna feel this way until this happened. Okay, my other grandmother is I don't know how she is. She was more than 38. Marriott Vacation Club is calling me right now. And then I'm like, all right, this is a tangent, but y'all know we do tangents. Okay, this is a tangent. Another example. They're calling me for these deals, right? 3 days, 4 nights in this place, that place. And so I said to them, this was just yesterday, I said to whoever the vacation thing that was calling me, I don't have a job. And you know what they said to me? This is the perfect time to take a vacation. And I'm like, you can't be that tone deaf. And I get it. People have jobs, right? They're trying to keep the jobs that they have. But you cannot be that tone deaf and insensitive that at a time like this, where the government is shut down, where people are being laid off, where over 300,000 Black women alone have lost their jobs since January, that you're going to say to me, oh, sounds like a perfect time to take a vacation. I can give you a good deal. Girl, are you going to pay for my vacation? That's the only good deal we could do right now. I'm just like, don't be so tone deaf. And I thought I cleaned this corner up. So if y'all see stuff in that corner, oh, I'm so sick of this. Hold on. Can you still see that? That's better. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm not feeling as abundant where I feel like I can afford to be as generous as I would normally be with this shutdown. And then I realized, but this is a good thing, because it's showing me where I get to do the work mentally, where I get to do the work. Because if I want to retire early, this would be my reality, right? My reality would be I wouldn't have a 9-to-5 check coming in every 2 weeks. But I still want to live in existence of abundance. I still want to feel like I have so much abundance that I can freely bless others, right? Right? But right now, we're not feeling that way. Y'all just got to see my little pile right there. Yeah, right now we're not feeling that way. But as I was saying, going to visit my grandmother in Rhode Island with my sisters and my little niece and my little nephew, staying with family, meeting up with family, meeting family we never met before, like my Uncle Manny. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Hopefully we go to visit him within the next 2 years, y'all. We've always heard about him. He's my father's brother. We always heard about him, but we never met him in person. They never even realized we never met him in person. And we met him in person for the first time, y'all. And it was just so much love, an instant connection. And it just goes to say that even in a time like this, family is everything. We're not even supposed to be emotional. This isn't even an emotional video. But family is everything. And I have so much love for my family. And my family has so much love for me and for us. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to witness. Oh my goodness. We met another amazing family member, Meshach, young man, 31, got 2 little boys. He is raising on his own. Oh my goodness. So freaking inspired by him. Family is everything. During this time, I was able to edit the Bahamas vacation that I told y'all about before. Those of you who ain't seen it, I don't know. Eye in the sky if I can find the video. Because a lot of it is me yapping, much like now. But I told y'all about, we had this vacation to the Bahamas Thanksgiving last year. That's how far behind I am in editing, but ooh. And I was telling y'all how my niece, how some family members, they kind of did me wrong. I paid for an excursion up front, and everybody was like, they're going to pay me back, right? They're going to pay me. My niece had this little meltdown, and then decided she ain't going to pay me, her and her little boyfriend. And I told y'all about that. So I finally got that video edited, and Eye in the Sky. I want y'all to go watch that video. In the editing of that video, what it showed me was, until that little thing happened, which was probably like 5 minutes out of that whole day, that whole experience, but it threw off the energy of the experience. I was looking back at that footage like, look how much fun we were having. Look at the laughter. Look at the love. Look at all of that. Family is everything. It's priceless. So what this has showed me or taught me, this government shutdown, layoff, all of it, is Christmas is canceled. Christmas is canceled. Yep. I don't believe in supporting an economy that doesn't support me. So Christmas is canceled. But what it showed me is, even though Christmas is canceled, family is never canceled. So the way we're going to celebrate these holidays, or the way I'm going to celebrate, I don't know what they're going to do, but they already know. Don't look for no presents from me. I'm not doing it. I'm not supporting these people out here. But what we're going to do is create experience. We're going to get together as family. We're going to play games. We're going to laugh. We're going to have some food, some snacks. I don't know. We don't be cooking. But we're going to get together. We're going to figure it out, what we're going to do, the games we're going to play, and how we're going to be there in each other's presence as family. That's what we're doing for the holidays, okay? Thanksgiving is canceled. I don't care. I'm not stimulating this economy with all of these capitalistic holidays. These holidays invented just to separate you from your money. We don't have any money to be separated from right now. The companies and businesses I will support will be owned by Black women. Why? Because over 300,000 of us lost our jobs. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to support some Black women-owned business. I already know the businesses I'm going to support. But it's not going to be like how it was in the past with my family, because I have such a huge family that just trying to buy everybody a little something truly adds up. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So with this government shutdown, I didn't do what I thought I was going to do. What I thought I was going to do was just take this time to travel, to go out there and be in the world. That's what I thought I was going to do. And we didn't do that. One of the main reasons why we didn't do that is because, remember I told you guys October 17th, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, it was going to be my last day. Well, our contract that we was on decided, and mind you, this can change at any day. I know that. I know that this can change at any given point in time. But right now, the word is, when they open back up the government, we still get to go back in and do our last 2 weeks. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Because I am a high income earner. Me going in for 2 weeks will add at least another $8,000 to my life, right? So that's worth it for me. 8,000 or more, depending on how many hours I do, right? How many hours I contribute to those people's businesses. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chill right now. I'm going to take this time to rest. I'm going to take this time to edit videos, get caught up. It's going very slowly. But I'm not going to take this time to rush to be in somebody else's country. Like, I can hold off on that. So I do have some plans for next year on what we want to do. But we'll see. We'll see. All plans are loose right now, right? Do I think the Democrats should give in just so that the government can open back up? Hell no. Hell no. I don't think that. Because I feel like if they open up without any compromise, right? Then why did we shut down in the first place? Why was the government? If that was the case, and we're going to just concede, if Democrats are just going to concede, then you just shouldn't have shut down. I feel like 38 days later, if we've been in this fight this long, just go the distance. Go the distance. Bullies should not be encouraged through submission. Never. Never. We've been here before. Yes, it's hard and it will get harder, but we can and will find creative ways to keep it moving, to keep it going. We will. With the help of of governments that do still care for their people, such as the governments in Maryland, there will be some creative solutions for people to keep people fed, to keep people by and by. Almost like when COVID happened, when the pandemic took place and people couldn't go to work and people lost jobs and all of that. You know, there were some things put in place, whether it was with rent, whether it was with your mortgage, things like that. But there will be some creative solutions. There has to be. There has to be, because this isn't anybody's fault. But no, I don't think the government should just open back up just so that people can get a paycheck again. Things have to change. Things have to change. I am so proud of everybody who went out and did their big one on November 4th, okay? New York, y'all did that. New Jersey, Virginia, y'all did that. We did that. There were 3 seats. The Attorney General, the Governor, and somebody else. Who we vote for? Hold on. And Lieutenant Governor, all blue. We did that. California, Proposition 50. We did that, okay? We did that. And let me tell you, it's not so much that I feel like Democrats have all the answers, right? But what I do know is hate, bigotry, sexism, misogyny, all of that never had a place in my life. It's something that I would never support. I would never support it, okay? Money isn't everything. Family, love is everything. It's everything. When we're here in this country, Americans, we are family. When we're here on this planet, human beings, we are family. I want to get back to that. And whoever is showing me that they are in more alignment with that than not, that's who gets my votes. Okay? And apparently, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, they agree. They agree. That's how I am. That's how I'm doing. 38 days into this government shutdown. And like I said, I know for many of you it's hard and it will get harder. But you're strong. You're strong. And you're prepared for this fight. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget to thumbs up. Talk to me down there in the comments. If you have any questions, ask them. Oh yes. And I will be doing the giveaway drawing, and that is over there at my Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you want to be entered into that drawing, let's say, what is today? Today is like the 7th. Let's give it till November 15th. November 15th, and it will close. But anything gets you submitted into the drawing. Anything over there. I see your name over there, you're in the drawing. Okay? And I'll reach out to you if you're a winner. But that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for this support. Thank you so much for being awesome citizens of the United States of America. Until the next video, y'all.